What a nice day. What is it? Wednesday, right? Guys, welcome to the beautiful pump on Bitcoin. Look at it. And we're literally touching the all-time high. How incredible is it? But should we really celebrate? And the answer is not really. I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. And this is going to be one of the most important videos of my entire YouTube channel. So please watch from the beginning and until the end attentively. And subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make some noise down in the comments, because I'm gonna give you some really juicy shit in this video. So let's go. A lot of people are celebrating, and so am I. You know, we've been accumulating so much Bitcoin, you know, all the way down to $16,000, so it wasn't fun. And right now we're making millions of dollars, so congratulations to all of us. However, there is something very obvious I want you to pay attention to, and that is something that is currently actually keeping me away from scaling this trade much further on ETH. As you can see, this is the ETH trade. Actually, since the last video, it reduced by like 50,000 bucks, which is not a big difference. But anyway, there's a reason why I'm not scaling this further yet, even though it is basically close to break even. The reason is, let me explain it in due time. First of all, if we look at technicals on Bitcoin, yeah, we're coming close to the all-time high. We're pumping like crazy. We actually have crazy volume. If you look at Ethereum, for example, we are still nowhere near close to the all-time high. It's, to be honest, we should be standing somewhere here. So that's why, it's, for one, it just shows the opportunity, but it also is telling us an interesting story that lays ahead in terms of altcoins, because I know that most of you guys are degens into altcoins. Let's be honest. So for me, Ethereum, like 27.3 and then actually closure above, that's what I really want to see. And then subsequently going above 3K. Then just go back into this vicinity with a target of 4K. And this is what I have been expecting to start happening somewhere in November. So this is the time zone where we are expecting this up move. And if it doesn't happen, then just something is wrong with the market. In general, I'm not just talking about Ethereum, just altcoins in general, because most altcoins are not performing well at all, except for a few ones and a few meme coins. So that considered, let me explain why we are pumping like crazy on Bitcoin. The real explanation here is the ETF. Because for yesterday alone, we had $870 million accumulated and purchased through the ETF. So $1 billion in one single day, which is quite huge. And that's why we have this crazy move from 50K to 74K, basically, just because of ETFs, because they've been accumulating like absolute mental people. Like, look at it, it's pretty insane, which looks quite good. So therefore, I think that $100,000 Bitcoin is not far away. But there's one but in this whole thing because usually when retail starts FOMOing in, they start to FOMO in on these kinds of candles, and this is usually when corrections happen. Let me explain what I mean, and then we're going to come back to the logic of my trade and where I actually want to scale it, because I still want, because it's only 2.2 million, come on, who cares about these peanuts? We want to make it 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, etc. And for now, I'm not really in a rush to do so. Here is exactly why. And by the way, guys, if you're not trading on Bybit yet, or if you already are trading on Bybit, but you don't get a 42% discount on trading fees, and you didn't claim any cash bonuses for your own trading, then create a new Bybit account using my link down in the description of this video, or just a brand new account. And if you, just because you use my link, you can claim up to $30,000 initial deposit bonuses. All the information is there once you click the link and sign up. And also there is huge events, huge, for example, in this case, WSOT, huge competition. But all of that aside, you can get up to 42% discount on trading fees if you use my link to Bybit. So you can actually be saving yourself thousands of dollars on trading commissions. So shill is a shill, I know, but it is bonuses for you. So go use it to your advantage. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want you guys to understand today. This is the total Bitcoin spot ETF net inflow. And right now, we actually had one of the best days for the ETF, one of the best ever in the history of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin spot ETF. So previously we had it here, we had also a huge pump and a huge volume here, and you can see the amounts, 1,800,000,870, so basically the same thing here. And usually this was not the point where we would correct down to fucking zero, obviously, but this usually, so don't write these stupid comments and just be please always objective. And actually there is a lot of you among the community who are not very smart and not very bright, and you're saying, Thomas, you're flip-flopping. The only person who can say that I'm flip-flopping is a retard who is not even reading, who is not even watching the video. If you're just reading the title, which is 3 words, and you're judging the 12-minute video by 3 words, you have problems. So always watch videos from the beginning and until the end to get the context, and then you will see that I haven't flip-flopped for the last 6 fucking months. Usually, after these kinds of explosive moves and these kinds of big volumes, we actually see consolidations or some kind of a correction or some kind of stagnation, just because, you know, the market is kind of exhausted. And even if you look at the price, look at how crazy it is. It looks absolutely fantastic. And that's why we actually formed this pattern here, which is basically, I don't know, a triangle, and it is very likely that we could break to the downside, maybe even retest 69, 70, whatever, and actually go a bit lower for the time being, which could be quite horrible for ETH and for altcoins. But that's just generally speaking what we can expect historically when we have these kinds of parabolic moves. Is there a chance that it's just going to continue to 100,000 from here? Yes, but usually it doesn't do it in this way, does it? It usually does some kind of moves in between. So that's number one thing that I want you to be really careful about right now. But I still want you to be quite optimistic about the upside, because honestly, there is no retail in the market. We see it in terms of views, we see it in terms of engagement, we see it in terms of the level at which Coinbase app is ranked at right now. It's like 400. It went from 500 to 400. It's like if there is euphoria, if there is retail in the market, it's going to be much higher. And it's going to be huge hype. Everybody's going to be trading Bitcoin. Everybody's going to be taking profits. It's going to be a great time. And usually this is where a huge liquidity is coming to altcoins as well. That's why right now, if you look at even fundamental projects such as, for example, Arbitrum, this is the chart of Arbitrum. If you look at Bitcoin, like Ethereum compared to it, actually looks pretty good. If you look at Bitcoin and then you look at something as fundamental as Arbitrum, and this is, I think, a weekly chart, it's down tremendously, 80%. It is down 80% since what? Since March of this year? This is pretty crazy. And this is a fundamental project. For example, Evadex is built on Arbitrum. So it's an L3 of Arbitrum, the rollup that we've built. So considering this, Arbitrum is a powerful project, and I see the price target could be hitting something like $20 in this bull run. So that's like what, 40x from here. But what do we need for this to happen? We need the Bitcoin dominance to finally start dropping, because right now the Bitcoin dominance is pretty insane. And to make things worse, in terms of AI analysis and the neural networks, they're currently predicting that the dominance, like right now, we are close to the extreme. We're close to the highest dominance ever, considering the amount of altcoins and the infrastructurally important ecosystem products. We see that right now we're kind of hitting this very important zone, historical one, which is from 59% all the way up to like 64, 65%. So we kind of are still in this danger zone that we could still go higher in terms of Bitcoin dominance, which would mean that this would keep being suppressed and Ethereum also would still be a bit suppressed. Despite of everything and all the positivity, we need this to flip. And until we see this trend break, we cannot really expect anything from altcoins. But here is a positive note. This can happen at any given point, and I'm going to keep you updated, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. The worst case scenario, this is also an interesting chart here, that when we are comparing the all of the altcoins to top 3 cryptos, or we're comparing top 3 cryptos to the total crypto market, and we're going to see that actually the total crypto market cap is actually slowly going to the downside. So it also proves that the only money that there is in the market is institutional money. So there's only smart money. There's no retail in this. And then it also kind of defeats the purpose for the Bitcoin price to crash. And this is also something that is against the theory that we could go from 72 down to 50 again. Because the only people who are buying now is basically the institutions. And that's why we're seeing this kind of a huge pump. Do they really want to pump their bags right now just to crash it down to 50K? I really don't think so. Considering the history, for sure, we could, do some kind of consolidation, maybe retest 69K, and then, go higher. Yes, for sure. That's something that all I'm saying here. I'm not saying we're going to be going lower, because I don't think it's going to happen just due to simple facts as to who is in the market right now. So you just need to have this full picture in your mind. Now, adding some more positivity, right now, the US spot ETFs are scheduled to hit 1 million Bitcoin held by next week and pass Satoshi by mid-December. So they've been adding about 17,000 Bitcoin per week. Should I remind you how much Bitcoin is being mined per week? is this price action really that surprising? Not really. All we care about is now for the altcoins to start following. But for that, this isn't enough because this is all just about Bitcoin and it all is coming from institutions. So for us to actually make crazy money on altcoins, and for most of you because you guys don't believe in Bitcoin, I guess, because you think it's too expensive, so that's why you're not making any money. So I always said 50% of my net worth is in Bitcoin. So in case if altcoins take shit, you still make good money. Also, one more thing to add from Van Eyck. If you don't know what Van Eyck is, then I'm sorry. 3 of 6 new members of BRICS, UAE, Argentina, and Ethiopia, are mining Bitcoin with government resources. And Russia's sovereign wealth fund is investing in Bitcoin mining through BRICS countries with the goal of setting global trade possibly in Bitcoin. Not so sure about this last line, but everything is so incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. So I hope you've been holding Bitcoin together with me because I'm not going to be selling Bitcoin below a few $100,000, as I told you so many freaking times before. But in the meantime, we can focus really on these huge, incredible projects. Let me know in the comments if I should make an updated video of the top altcoins that I believe in that have really such incredible potential considering everything that we were saying right now. And just seeing this, just simply be careful with short-term price action. Don't expect it to keep pumping to 100K, which it could, but just probabilities-wise and the way how the market moves, we need to have some kind of cool down because this price action is pretty fantastic. But usually when it's fantastic, it ends up being a bit painful. So all things considered, stay vigilant. We're in a good time in the market, but just be careful with the moves and don't be a euphoric retail retard. So check out this quick tutorial on how to trade Bitcoin with proper risk and money management. You're going to learn a lot, even if you think you know how to trade. You probably don't. So check out this video right here. I know it sounds cheesy, but I promise you one simple thing. You will learn a lot from this video. So I'll see you in the next video.